Stop recording button. Double tap to activate.
Hello friends, I am recording this video for WIP Wednesday. That's right, you know what time it is, and it is time for you to grab your project, grab your beverage, come on and hang out with me for a little bit. So if you'd like, say hello in the comment section. Let me know where you're from and what you're working on. Are you knitting a baby blanket? Are you crocheting a shawl? I am knitting, hopefully, right? My projects are kind of like a hopefully if they turn out, if I don't mess them up. I do design my own projects, so just because it's in progress doesn't mean it'll ever actually happen. But hopefully this is a top. Hopefully it'll be a tank top. We got it all the way up to the bust. We got some garter stitch. We got some lace kind of columns on it, some vertical columns. It is in Knit Picks We Crochet Shine Sport in the color Pageant, which is sort of like a dark purple. And if you're returning viewer to my channel, you'll know why I'm describing my project to you, everybody. And I want to say thank you. If you're a returning viewer to my channel, thank you so much for choosing to come back and hang out and spend a little bit of your day with me. And thank you for your patience while I briefly introduce myself to anybody who might be new to my channel. Hi, my name's May. I love yarn. I love to knit and crochet. Those are my hobbies, and I also happen to be visually impaired. So I knit and crochet by feel, and I am completely colorblind. I am blind by the light, so I try to record when it's darker, but the days are getting longer in terms of daylight hours. The days don't actually get longer. It's kind of funny that we say that, right? The days are getting longer. No, there's still 24 hours in the day, but the hours of daylight that we have are getting longer. So I'm learning to have to be a little bit adaptable and flexible, but it is definitely painful on my eyes. I get headaches from the light. I don't see as well. So anyways, we'll see. Who knows? I might be recording in the middle of the night too sometimes. But I describe my projects because I believe knitting and crochet are things you can do completely by feel. Color is the most challenging aspect. So I want to encourage anybody and everybody to pick up some needles and some hook and some yarn and, hey, give knitting and crochet a try. Anyways, today, I don't know if you know too much about YouTube content creators. If you are a YouTube content creator, please let me know in the comment section. Let me know what your channel is and what you record on, what your topic is, what your niche is, what genre, maybe it's crafting, maybe it's knitting and crochet, maybe you have another hobby, maybe you bead jewelry or do woodwork or sculpting or something. I don't know. So by all means, maybe you play music. So if you have a channel, let me know. But if you don't, right, I've spent years and years and years viewing videos on YouTube like millions and millions of other people out there. And I didn't really know too much about how the whole YouTube verse thing works. I didn't. So most people who do record videos usually record them. I mean, people obviously go live, right? We see people, our favorite people, are like, oh, somebody's live, so they go live. And that's just when people just start talking and hanging out. Well, I'm not live on YouTube, but me recording videos is pretty much like going live because I don't have the ability to edit visually. I hit the record button and it's go, and I can't edit things out. So, if there's something really bad on the video, I have to scrap the whole video and start all over again. Yeah. So, you get what you get. You get the awkwardness, you get the pause, you get the fumbles, you get the coughs, you just get real me, right? The human being that I am with all my awkwardness, all my pauses, all my ums. That's what you get. Anyways, though, most people, if they're not going live, they'll record their videos a little bit ahead of time. Some people record their videos days ahead of time. I often record mine the night before, sometimes up to 2 days before. But just kind of depends on what's going on, especially because of where I live. We have really, really slow internet. I live in a very rural area. The Wi-Fi is bad. The Verizon Wireless 5G that I pay so much money for is terrible. That's what I use. I'm recording on my Android phone, and I use my Verizon wireless internet to upload my videos. And I've had it take over 14 hours to upload a video to my channel before. That's crazy. In today's world, that just it just blows my mind that the internet can be that slow. But it is. So I usually, record these videos at least the night before. I will upload this video on Tuesday night, so it'll be there Wednesday morning for WIP Wednesday. But today, I am recording it on Monday night, which is, sometimes it happens a day or two ahead of time. So it's Monday here in the United States. It's the last Monday in May. And it is Memorial Day today here in the United States. I got my blue dress on with my white stars. And I am hoping that, well, if you don't know, if you're from another country or you don't know, Memorial Day is a day when we take time to honor and remember our service people who died, our service members who signed up to serve our country and they lost their lives. It's a day when we say to their family members, we haven't forgotten them. We remember them. And we're so grateful and we're so thankful for your sacrifice. So I definitely want to put that out there today. If you are somebody who's lost a service member, we remember them and we're grateful for the sacrifice. But many of them are people who lost their lives, who never returned home to their families, and we remember them and we think of their family members. But it's also, a day that we remember people who lost their lives sometimes to other reasons that could be service related. So many of our service members have health conditions and disabilities because of their service, right? They were serving and they became injured while they were serving, or they got exposed to chemicals or things, and so then they have health conditions, and some of them can have long-term health conditions, cancer and respiratory issues and all kinds of health issues that can just compound all these other health issues, and unfortunately can be comorbidities or contributing factors in their death. So even when they come back to us, sometimes they come back to us with so many health complications that can end up resulting in premature death, like all these health issues, and then they die really younger than they probably would have had they not been exposed to those chemicals or to those injuries, right? We have service members who come back with that are paralyzed, that have had limbs amputated. Many have traumatic brain injuries. I've known service members who are blind. I've known them through the blind community. If you don't, well, because you know that, right? I'm visually impaired, and I was born visually impaired, so I spent a lot of time in the disabled community and in the community of blind and visually impaired people, and I've known a lot of veterans. And so, well, blindness isn't usually something that contributes to premature death, but other health conditions that they may have. Some of them have traumatic brain injuries as well as blindness and other health issues that can end up resulting in them dying before their time. So we remember those people today, and many of our veterans are still living with those issues. I'm sure you probably know if you listen to my channel, my house is under construction. Yes, this house was built 10 years ago for me. It was built in 2015, but that was just the upstairs, and the basement was unfinished. And sometimes I can't record videos because finally the basement is getting finished. There's construction going on. So I live in like a big construction zone. I say I live in a WIP, right? I live in a giant WIP. It's a work in progress. Yeah, my house is. So, sometimes I can't record record because there's framing going on in the basement, or there's, just other construction noise that's happening down there. But my contractor is a veteran, and he's 77, and he does have serious health issues from exposure to Agent Orange, and it's caused him. I'm really impressed that anybody still does physical labor, right, and construction work at his age. That's impressive. But then on top of that, with all the health issues that he's had from serving, that have caused him health issues throughout his life, and may be contributing factors in his death. And so, but thankfully he is still alive and still able to do physical work. But we know that our veterans lose their lives due to those other health issues. And so today's a day that we remember them as well. And many of our, if you don't know yet, I've worked in mental health. That's what I did before I was here hanging out with y'all on YouTube stitching. I worked in mental health. I worked in college counseling centers. And so mental health is important to me, and we do lose a lot of our veterans to suicide, and it's certainly a day where we still remember them. And a lot of our veterans have substance abuse issues and alcohol issues, and those can contribute, right, to people who overdose or end up dying from liver issues because of, years of drinking, when oftentimes it's related to what they experienced during their years of service. So all kinds, even when our veterans come back to us, if they survive, right, they survive, and then they come back to us. They may come back to us with physical issues and or mental and psychological issues that may be contributing factors to their death. And so it's still a day where we recognize them as well, no matter what, if they died in service or if they died from suicide or drugs or whatever. It's still a day where we say thank you for your sacrifice. We're so grateful to you for signing up. That's something that I won't understand at all, because I've never served, right? I've been mostly blind my whole life. I was never be eligible for serving in any kind of capacity like that. So yeah, I hope that people, and I also want to say about the mental health thing, if you are anybody who's having a mental health issue, please do get help if you need it. My last job in college counseling, for the most part, I worked with, kids who had college issues, right? Roommate issues, boyfriend issues, that kind of a thing. But I did have a veteran. Our college had a really good veterans resource center on campus that specifically worked with veterans, had mentoring programs, had special groups and things for them. But they would still send a lot of the veterans over to our clinic for mental health issues. And I'll be honest with you, I worked with a veteran, and he was by far one of my more challenging clients, compared to working with somebody who's having difficulties getting along with their roommate, or having boyfriend issues, or somebody who's failing their classes. Yes, those are serious issues. When you're in the middle of a crisis, or in a breakup, or you're failing your classes, I'm not trying to make light of those issues at all. When you're 19 and that's going on in your life, that's a big deal. Okay, I'm not making light of anybody's issues when they come into counseling. But certainly our veterans come to us in college counseling centers with a lot more complex issues, right? The particular client that I'm thinking of had, depression, and he had marital issues and substance abuse issues and binge drinking, and, just much, much more complex of a client to work with. Because of, having served in our military. So they can certainly come with, a wide range of issues. But I also want to say where veterans do get help with those things, even though he could be a challenging client for me. Do go and get those services. Our veteran services have mental health services. So please do, seek that out. If you are a veteran and you're returning to college, please do make use of your college counseling center. That is what they're there for, okay? That's what they're there for. So, you might think or wonder, can I talk to these people? Well, certainly look for a Veterans Resource Center on your campus, uh, and that way you can connect with other service members, right, who will understand you a lot better than probably a lot better than the 20-year-olds in your classes, right? Most of our veterans, when they return to school, they're like 28, 30s, in their 30s, 40s sometimes, and so they might feel really out of place on a college campus, right? They might feel like they don't connect, they don't relate to the younger kids, they don't have the same issues as some of the younger students. So when you go to college, right, you can connect to the Veterans Resource Center, and then they can help get you into groups and connected with people who can help you on campus. And then, of course, use your counseling center resources. Just because the majority of our caseload is, traditional college students, it's not all. And so, and honestly, I enjoyed some of my really complex cases in the college counseling center. Yes, they challenged me as a therapist, but I liked that. I learned from them. I absolutely learned from my most challenging clients. As I try to learn from all of my clients, right? When you're sitting there in the room with that person, I can learn from my clients just as I'm working with them. So I just want to put that out there. I know today is not Veterans Day, but I also know that we lose a lot of veterans to suicide and substance abuse. And so I really just want to say that if you know somebody who's struggling, or if you're struggling yourself, whether you're a veteran or not, please do reach out and get the help. So anyways, I just want to talk about that for a minute, because I've caught a little bit of Memorial Day stuff on the YouTube. I didn't post a video today. Like I said, this will probably post on Wednesday, just because, I was hoping that people were going out and attending some services or watching them on YouTube. Yes, here in the United States, a lot of people have the day off, but still, some people go to services, some people don't. So I was hoping people could make it about what the day is about. But I did also post some sales on my YouTube channel, and I do want to talk about those videos for a minute. So, I know I love sales, period, right? Whether I'm shopping for shoes or clothes or yarn, I love a good sale. I do. I love to save money. Everything's expensive. I love to help you save money as well. So I love a good Memorial Day sale, but I wanted to make sure I talked about Memorial Day first. I didn't want anybody on my channel to think that I just think that Memorial Day is all about sales, because it's not. And I just wanted to be like super clear about that. Yes, I'll talk about the sales. Yes, I'll get excited about the sales. I get really excited about yarn. I just do. And I get excited about a yarn sale. I get excited about saving money. But it's not just about sales. So I do want to talk about them, though. I posted a Memorial Day sale for Knit Picks and We Crochet. It was a site-wide sale. It may be going on Tuesday the 27th as well. Definitely check the website before you put anything in your cart. And then I also posted a video about the Web's anniversary sale. Now, those sale prices are going on through May 31st. But the free shipping was only over the weekend. That's it. So as the end of Monday, by the time you see this video on Wednesday, the free shipping will be over. But you could still get the sale prices through the 31st of 2025. So when I post a sale video, like I've done sale videos for Knit Picks We Crochet, for Webs, for Hobby, for Paradise Fibers, when I post those, even if you're looking at that and you're seeing, well, the sale's over. Well, if you're interested, if you like to look at yarn as much as I do, right? If you're kind of a little bit, you like to, you like yarn. You're a yarn enthusiast, a yarn collector, a yarn addict, a yarn rescuer, right? However you want to look at it, right? you could certainly still watch those videos. When I talk about the yarns that are on sale, I show you the yarns that I have in the house. I show you some of the projects that I made from them. I share with you some of my ideas on things that I would like to make with those yarns in the future. Okay, I buy yarn sometimes just because it's a yarn that I want and it's on sale. And I don't always have a project in mind, but I'm like, you know what? Get it while it's on sale, because then when you want to make something, you have it in the house. So sometimes, I have had yarn in my house for years that I haven't done anything with yet. But I bought it because it was, at the Web's anniversary sale, okay? So if you just want to look at the yarns and you want to hear my opinions, if I've worked with a yarn, I will give you my opinion, my experience of it. Was it good for crocheting? Was it good for knitting? How did it feel? What do my projects look like? I will give you my opinions. And they're just that, right? They're just my opinions. They're just my experiences. So, if you have a different opinion or experience, please, by all means, feel free to share that in the comment section or, in your own channel. But I just share with you, what it was like for me with the project to knit and crochet with it. What was it like? How's my garment doing, right? How's it holding up? So you'll get to see some of my projects. You'll get to hear some ideas. And I'm really here to get you excited about yarn, right? And to help you think beyond the pattern, right? Or beyond the tutorial. Yes, I'm happy. If you're knitting and crocheting, I'm happy. It doesn't matter if all you do is watch YouTube tutorials, right? And make patterns based upon that. If you don't ever learn how to read a pattern, that's okay. There's so many YouTube tutorials out there. You could make projects forever just with YouTube tutorials. You could probably just crochet forever on YouTube tutorials and not ever have to learn how to read a pattern. You can make blankets and hats and booties and market bags and Christmas ornaments and cardies and sweaters and socks. I mean, there's tutorials out there on everything. So, you can spend the rest of your life making stuff just on tutorials. So, I don't even remember where I was going with that. Oh, I was talking about reading patterns. So, if you read patterns, great, that's great. If all you do is work off of YouTube videos, that's great. But I also really love to encourage people to get creative with their creativity, right? To see a pattern and be like, ooh, what if I did this? Just try changing the color on it. Some people will see a YouTube tutorial and say, I want mine to look exactly like that. And if that's what you want to do, that's totally fine. You're like, I need that exact same yarn and that exact same color. That's fine. But I definitely am all about changing up the colors. I'm all about changing up different rows. Now, sometimes it works out, and sometimes it doesn't, right? I'll modify a pattern, and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have done it like that. I should have done something different. But that's part of the creative process. That's how we become designers. That's how we make new discoveries. So I like to be here to encourage people to just start tweaking a pattern a little bit. Be like, how can I upsize that, right? How could I change that one row? What would that look like if I did this or that? And make it your own. That's what I do. I just start designing stuff in my head, and then I try to play with my yarn and figure out how I can make it happen. And so you can watch my sale videos. And some of the things that I show you are things that I've worked off of other people's patterns. And some of the things that I show you are going to be my own designs and my own creation that I just sit down with my yarn and my needles and my hooks and I make. So, so yeah, even if the sale has passed, I would encourage you to watch those videos if you want to look at yarn and you want to get ideas. And then if you want those yarns and the sale's over, just watch those websites, because Knit Picks and WIP Crochet has sales often. Webs has sales often. Hobby has sales often. Paradise Fibers, not as much. They're a small local yarn store. They can't have the big sales of the regular sales all the time. But they still
Facebook.
do.
Nina Ray Cisco highlighted a post for you to check out.
but they still do have sales. So, you know, check that stuff out, get some inspo. And if you shopped at any of the Memorial Day sales, let me know. You can say in the comment, oh, I went to the Knit Picks, I went to WIP Crochet, or Webs, or wherever. And let me know what you got, because I'd love to hear what other people got. I do. I could talk yarn with you all day, every day. I can talk all about the yarn. So am I a yarn expert? No, I'm not. I've never worked in the textile industry. I just share with you my experiences of the yarn, of what it's like to work with it, and I do read a lot. I read a lot on a variety of topics. I read books, I read magazines, I read articles, and I read on a variety of topics. But that does include topics about fibers, you know, about yarns, about cotton, about wool, and you know, trying to understand sort of how those fibers work, you know, how they behave on the needles and the hook, what they're like with to work on and work with. So yeah, so you know, that's what I share with you in those videos. Is I'll say, well, this is a wool, and this is this, or this is that, and I've got plenty of yarns that I've had in the house for a while, but I haven't had a chance to work with. But I'll just, if I've opened the package, some of my yarns I don't open the package. I get them in the plastic, and I like to keep them clean in the package because they might sit around here for 10 years. That's just the truth. I have yarn that might be here for 10 years. So, you know, I will keep it in the plastic, trying to keep it a little bit cleaner. But I also have some yarns that I open up and I say, hey, let's look at it, especially some of the colors. Sometimes I'd like you to be able to see, you know, the width of the yarn to get a good gauge. Does it really look like a DK? You know, what is it? What do the colors look like? Is it a tweed? Let's look at the tweed and the nups and how tweedy is it, right? Some tweed yarns are a little bit tweedy. Some are really tweedy. So I sometimes like to do that and just say, hey, this is, you know, and I might only have a few colors of the yarn, but I don't have every yarn and every color. I know that might seem shocking to some people. I know if you watch my channel and you see my yarn, you might be like, woo, lady, you got all the yarn. I don't. I wish I did. I wish I had all the yarn, right? Don't we all? If you're a yarn lover like me, don't you wish you had all the yarn, right? And it's not in like a selfish way. When I say I wish I had all the yarn, I don't mean that in a selfish way, like I want it all enough for you. I mean, I want to have it all so I can talk about it with you. That's what I mean. I mean, I want to have it all so I can touch it, I can tell you my impressions, so I can knit with it and crochet with it and say, hey, this is what this looked like, this is how this worked up. I just like to share my experiences with people, and you know, and some of those opinions might be really favorable and some might be less favorable. I'll try to be the truth, give you the truth. I'll try to be fair. So that's what I mean when I say I want all the yarn. That's all that I mean. I'm not like being like all for me and none for anybody else. I mean, I want all the yarn so I can be better educated and be more experienced and be able to give you real informed opinions, at least at what the yarn feels like, right? Even if I haven't worked up every yarn in my stash yet, I do want to be able to say to you, this is what it feels like. Yes, it truly feels like a number 3. Yes, it says there's cashmere in it. You can feel the cashmere. This one's got silk in it. Yes, you can feel the silk. I want to be able to say that to people. Or, you know, this is a wool that's a scratchy wool, or this is a baby yarn, right? I would use this for baby projects, or I wouldn't use this for baby projects. You get that a lot from me in my yarn videos. So anyways, that's mostly what I wanted to talk to you about today, was to talk to you about the Memorial Day sale videos that I have on my channel. And to encourage you, if you love yarn talk, to go ahead and check out those videos, even if it's post sale, and also to put that little message out there about Memorial Day, right? So yeah, I'm here. It's Monday. It's Monday in my world. Okay, it is. I'll be honest with you. Um, this is going to be pre-recorded. It is Monday in my world, and you will see this Wednesday morning, or who knows how long it'll be before you see it. It might be, on Friday or Saturday or in a year from now. Who knows when you'll see this? All right, that's the fun thing about the internet. It's kind of cool. You got to watch things, and you have to be like, what? And you have to go back sometimes and be like, oh, this was posted like a week ago or 2 weeks ago or whatever, to kind of hear what people are talking about, and then go back and put it in context. So yeah, in my world today, it's Memorial Day, but this will post the Wednesday afterwards. So anyway, I think I'm almost done with my round here of my top, and as soon as I finish it, I will let you see it. I think we did 3 rounds together, so let me know what you worked on while we were together, while we were hanging out. I'll let you see the project. This is what it looks like right now. We did 3 rounds together. We made a little bit of progress. It's a sport wet yarn, okay? And it's knitting. I'll be honest with you. Just taking to crochet right now these days, and I'm like, boy, crochet is a lot faster than knitting. I get why some people just crochet, or some people are like me and they knit and crochet, but they really take to the crochet. Crochet is way faster than knitting, without a doubt, especially when you're working with these fine yarns. So this is a sport weight number 2 yarn. So yeah, it's gonna be a slow process for sure. But we did make a little progress. We did work 3 rounds together. So I think I'm going to stop this video for today. And you know what I always say in my videos, creativity is for everybody. Whether you see, or you see like me, which is not in color and not so much, or you don't see at all. Creativity is for you. And whether it's knitting or crocheting or sewing or quilting or beading or sculpting or whatever it is that you do, today is a great day to craft and create. Thanks so much for listening. Bye bye for now.